So last year I did a video about how untidy and messy my game room was, and I explained on what I had planned for the game room. So I'm going to flip the camera around now and show you exactly what I've done. Absolutely nothing. So as you can see, the floor is just a dumping ground of random things. So you've got props from Back to the Future there, step ladders, carrier bags, a random Atari ST, stuff I've bought in recent videos like the PlayStation and the Rubik's clock, camera equipment, empty boxes. So yeah, I just tend to buy stuff and just dump it, and then I just think to myself, I'll get around to finding homes for that, like these Transformers. I've just been there since the NEC Toy Fair in, I think it was May. So what I'm going to do is have a good rearrange. Now my plans are, the main thing, moving Star Wars, because that is taking up far too much wall space when I could have some nice display cabinets along that wall. So I can't actually move the cabinet itself, so I can't actually grab hold of this and pull it, because if I do that it'll slide off that plastic table. So what I'm going to have to do is, about a year ago I bought a chain. So I'm going to attach the chain to this metal bar which is on the hinge of this table, and pull the chain, and hopefully the table will glide on the carpet and have it coming out here. Now I've measured and it comes up to about there, and then I've decided to move Tron into that corner, and that Detolf, or Detolf, however you pronounce it, is going to go there, and Robocop is going to go behind those doors, because I always have this door closed just to keep the cold out, because there's no heating in here. So I've just got to make do with this thing, which takes about 6 hours to heat the room up. So Robocop's going to go there, Tron's going to go there, that Detolf is going to go there, which frees up this little space here. And I've measured, and I'm going to get another Kallax unit from IKEA, but just the one with the 4 squares. So that'll go there, give me more space to put other shite, I don't know, yeah. So maybe some more of these black cubes, just to throw some peripherals in, or camera equipment, because I've got this one down here which is just full of like tools and my ring light, all my bits and pieces for when I modded my Robocop machine. I'm going to get rid of Turtles. I'm not going into too much detail at the moment, but I have got plans for another Arcade 1-Up mod which involves Turtles, so I'm getting rid of this one. Maybe the stool, I don't know. I just don't like the fact it's got Nickelodeon on it. If it said Konami, then I'd keep it, but it's just the fact it says Nickelodeon. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even use the stools. I play the machine standing up. The only stool I'm definitely keeping is the Tron. And then once I've done this side of the room, I'm going to concentrate on this side of the room because I need more storage. Now, in the last video I did mention that I was going to get one of those shop display cabinets. They're about £1,000, and I think that's what's put me off buying one. Plus I need to make room in here before I get one of those. So I'm thinking of but moving this little cupboard here and all these, and having another Billy bookcase, but maybe one without the doors on. And then these Billies, I'm going to have to look into putting the middle shelf, the Gnedby CD tower on this side, and then closing the gap so those two bookcases are more in the corner of the room. And I've done all my measurements and I hope to God I've done it right. That would allow me to get a third Billy bookcase in this gap here, because this is just getting a dumping ground now with all these games and boxes. I'd rather just have the big boxes on top, like I've got these Atari boxes. But if I do get a third Billy, I'm not going to put doors on it, because even though the doors have got the LEDs on the other side, I just hate this section here where you can't actually see the games in the middle of the cabinet. So I'm going to set the camera up, and you're going to see me struggling to move this thing.
Hours later.
Right, so I've moved Star Wars roughly to where I want it. It's about half a foot away from the wall, but I'm not sure if I'm happy with it. So my original plan was to have Tron in that corner and then Robocop there, but it'll be a bit of a tight squeeze, especially once Robocop's back on the riser. So I'll probably have about a foot to get round. I mean, I could move Star Wars a bit further over. So I've just got Robocop and Turtles there for the time being. And yeah, the game room is in more of a state than it was. There's just stuff everywhere. Every inch of space I had left, I've just put stuff out of the way. So yeah, this was a bit of a pain in the arse to move, so I attached this chain to the table's bar in the middle there and just pulled it. And once it started moving, it gained momentum. I probably moved it about 2 or 3 inches at a time, and then sat down and had a rest. Moving it away from the wall was easy. It was just moving it into position. I just had to like shuffle it to where it is now, which was the hard part. So I think I'm just going to push this a bit further towards the wall, leave about an inch clearance, and just call it a day. And we're going to IKEA this weekend, and I did want to get this done by the time we went to IKEA because I need to see what units I need to get. Now, it would have been great if Tron would have fit there, which it will, but there's not enough room between Tron and the existing Kallax for another Kallax. I mean, it would look great if Tron was there with a small Kallax next to it against the wall, but it would overhang by about that much. So I think I'll just go with the Detolf there and the 4 Kallax units there. I keep changing my mind every couple of hours. So the next time you see this room, it might have changed again. So Tron is now in place, and it fits a lot better than I thought it would. So I've left gaps down the side and down the back so I can get my hand down to switch it on and off and access the light switch for the room. So the next job is to clean the Detolf. So we went to IKEA yesterday and bought the 4 Kallax unit, the one that's basically half the size of this one, and that's going to go in there. And I was thinking about getting another Gnedby black-brown CD tower, but unfortunately they've stopped selling them. Well, they've stopped selling that colour, they only do white now. So we went down to the reshop and reuse area to see if they had any extra shelves, so I can move these shelves up to fit more hit squads. Now they didn't have any extra shelves, but they did have this X display unit, and I thought, sod it, I'm going to buy it because there was a massive saving. I can't believe this used to be 45 when you can buy a full-size Billy bookcase for 55. So I think this is going to go next to one of the Billies, I'm not sure yet, but I know I had to snag it as they no longer sell this colour. So now I'm going to crack on with building the Kallax. It's damaged, so back to IKEA. So the Kallax is built and it fits really nice next to the glass cabinet. All I've got to do now is fill the cabinet. So now I've put my toys away. It's looking a lot better here than it was in the corner. For the time being, I've just put my Vectrex on top of the Kallax. That's going to be going in the glass cabinet, the big glass cabinet, whenever I get that. And of course I can finally display my popcorn machine. Now I'm not sure what's going in the rest of the Kallax yet. At the moment I've just got some PS2 and Xbox games in there, but I'll probably use this for like camera equipment, tools, soldering iron, stuff like that. So the arcade machines are where I want them for now, until I change my mind again. Turtles is just there for the time being. Like I said, I'm going to sell that and replace it with another project. And if I need to, I can always move Robocop to behind the door. So the next task is to tackle this corner. Now my local IKEA are out of stock of the black-brown Billy bookcases until April, I think. So I am thinking of hanging fire on buying another Billy, because when I get the glass cabinet, it might free up enough room, so I might not need that extra billy. But for the time being, I'm just going to put my new, or my X-Display Gnedby on this end, and I'm going to secure it at the top so it doesn't fall over, and I'll be able to put a few of the Amstrad hit squads, which are on these little DVD towers. Anyway, I'll crack on with putting the Gnedby in here. So the second Gnedby is now attached to that billy bookcase, and there's a bit of a gap at the back, well, quite a big gap actually, but I wanted it flush with the rest of the units. So what I've done is, rather than attach it to the wall, I've just used this bracket and just secured it to the billy, so it's not going anywhere. And that's just a temporary measure until I know whether I'm going to get a third billy or not. So let's get it filled with games. So I've temporarily put the Amstrad Hit Squad games on the Gnedby, and there's space at the bottom for the just a small box Amiga games. I've put these here just as a temporary measure. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them there. I probably won't, but it just gets some of these games off the floor and just tidy up a little bit. So I've had a bit more of a tidy up. So all the games are now put away. So I've moved my Spectrum Hit Squads to there, and there's a few more box Spectrum games on the bottom one, as well as my Vectrex games. And I've moved my NES games to this one because I needed space. So the NES games were on the bottom two shelves of this Gnedby, and you couldn't see them. But I needed the room because I had 14 Commodore Hit Squad games that needed to go on there. So I'll just put them there, and while I was at it, I just got my box games out of the cabinet and put them all together, which freed up a bit of space in there just to space out those Famicom games. So it is looking a bit cluttered in that cabinet there. There are games in front of games, especially on the Master System shelf. I can now safely say I've got more Master System games than Mega Drive. I've almost got 2 rows full, and there's still a bit more to do. Still need to find some homes for these board games, but for now I think I'm going to leave the video there. So it's taken me a week to get to this point, and like I said, I still need to do some work in that corner. So as and when I get the glass cabinet or the third billy bookcase, or both, then I'll do a follow-up video. But as for this one, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye!